Hey everyone, recently I thought I'd take it upon myself to play through 100 games of Survivor on Dead by Daylight and track as many things as possible, from the killers I faced to the amount of 4% that occurred. This is a video compiling my findings from these 100 games, which all took place between ranks 14 to 7, which I think should make these findings a good indication of the majority of the player base and their habits. So, starting off simple, which survivor was played the most? Well, through my 100 games I encountered 300 other survivors. I did not include myself in this count as to remain non-biased and as to not skew the results, as I was mostly playing Meg during these matches. The most frequently played character, however, was Meg, who appeared 36 times, making her a total of 12% of the total survivor player base that I encountered. She was followed by the appearances of Nia 24 times, Feng 23 times, and Claudette 22 times, making the top 4 most picked characters female and also free with the game. In joint 5th position, I encountered both Jill and Leon 17 times. Alternately, the least encountered survivor character was joint between Tap, Ash, Laurie, and Quinton, all of which I only saw 2 of, and interestingly, these are all licensed characters. Interestingly, the legendary skin of Chris was played more often than these actual characters and appeared 3 times. I'll put my total survivor encounters up on screen now. Okay, so which killer was played the most? I encountered a total of 100 killers throughout the 100 matches, the most picked killer being Wraith, who I encountered a total of 12 times, making him weirdly appear as often as Meg on the survivor side, putting him at a 12% chance of being the killer I faced. In joint 2nd, I encountered 8 Tricksters and Deathslingers, and in joint 3rd, I encountered 7 Ghostfaces, Trappers, and Huntresses. The least encountered killers were joint between 4, these 4 being Pig, Twins, Nurse, and Clown, who all appeared only once. There was not a single killer I did not face, however. I'll put my total killer encounters up on screen now. Okay, now let's look at perks. As I played Survivor throughout these games, I also did not count my own perks into this. The most frequent appearing Survivor perks were Borrowed Time with 92 appearances, Dead Hard with 80 appearances, Iron Will with 75 appearances, Adrenaline with 64 appearances, Decisive Strike with 61 appearances, Self-Care with 56 appearances, and Sprint Burst with 50 appearances. Perks that made appearances below that of 50 times, I'm gonna put up on screen. However, survivor perks that did not appear at all consisted of Babysitter, Breakdown, Buckle Up, Left Behind, No Mither, Open-Handed, Repressed Alliance, Sole Survivor, and Up the Ante. So out of the 95 current survivor perks, 9 were not used at all during 100 games. The most frequent killer perks to appear were Barbecue and Chili with 33 appearances, Hex No One Escapes Death with 28 appearances, Hex Ruin with 25 appearances, Pop Goes the Weasel with 19 appearances, Discordance with 16 appearances, Corrupt Intervention with 16 appearances, Tinkerer with 13 appearances, and Nurse's Calling with 11 appearances, Bitter Murmur with 11 appearances, Sloppy Butcher with 10 appearances, and Thanatophobia with 10 appearances. Perks that made appearances below that of 10 times, I'm going to put up on screen. However, killer perks that did not appear at all consisted of Coup de Grace, Dark Devotion, Furtive Chase, Hangman's Trick, Hoarder, Knockout, Oppression, Overwhelming Presence, Play With Your Food, Predator, Remember Me, and Territorial Imperative. One interesting thing about this is that not a single teachable perk of the twins was seen during 100 games. Out of the 84 killer perks, 12 were not used at all during these 100 games. The most common survivor item was the flashlight, which appeared 98 times, followed by 96 medkits, 49 toolboxes, 3 maps, 3 keys, and 1 firecracker. The most common rarity for the flashlight was yellow, with 44 out of the 98 being yellow, followed closely by the anniversary flashlight with 36. Out of the 96 medkits, 33 were anniversary and 20 were yellow. Out of the toolboxes, 20 were anniversary and 10 were yellow. For all items, yellow and anniversary or event were the most popular rarities, aside the key and map. All 3 maps were pink, all 3 keys were purple. The most popular add-on for the flashlight was the brown battery, which appeared on 33 out of the 98 flashlights. The most popular add-on for the medkit was the gauze roll, which appeared on 16 out of the 96 medkits. And the most popular add-on for the toolbox was Wire Spool, which appeared on 14 out of the 49 toolboxes. A brand new part was brought 6 times, an anti-hemorrhagic syringe was brought 3 times, a styptic agent was brought 5 times. Okay, so now what realm appeared the most? Autohaven Wreckers appeared 12 times, Ormond appeared 9 times, Midwich or Silent Hill appeared 9 times, Macmillan Estate appeared 8 times, Springwood appeared 8 times, Yamaoka Estate appeared 8 times, Larry's Memorial Institute appeared 7 times, Coldwind Farm appeared 5 times, Racoon City Police Station appeared 5 times, Crotus Pren Asylum appeared 5 times, Backwater Swamp appeared 5 times, Hawkins appeared 5 times, Dead Dog Saloon appeared 5 times, Red Forest appeared 4 times, Haddonfield appeared 3 times, and the game appeared 2 times. This makes Autohaven Wreckers the most frequent with 12 out of the 100 games, and Gideon Meatplant the least with 2 out of 100 games. Midwich was the highest frequency license map with 9 appearances during the 100 games. The most frequent map within each realm was Wrecker's Yard for Autohaven, Ormond for Ormond, Midwich for Silent Hill, Coal Tower and Groaning Storehouse for the Macmillan Estate, Springwood 5 for Springwood, Larry's for Larry's, Rotten Fields and Rancid Abattoir for Coldwind, RPD for Racoon City, Father Campbell's Chapel for Crotus Pren, The Pale Rose for Backwater Swamp, Hawkins for Hawkins, Dead Dog for Glenvale, The Temple of Purgation for Red Forest, Lampkin Lane for Haddonfield, and the game for the Gideon Meatplant. Let's now look at average generator completion. In 63 out of the 100 games, 5 generators were completed. In 9, 4 were completed. In 15, 3 were completed. In 8, 2 were completed. In 5, 1 was completed. There was not a single match where a generator was not completed. Looking at escape rates, in 31 of the games, all 4 survivors escaped. In 16, 3 escaped. In 10, 2 escaped. And in 9, 1 escaped. In 34 matches, 0 survivors escaped. There was a total of 2 hatch escapes during all 100 games. Okay, and now for some random facts. In 2 out of the 100 games, a 4% self-unhook was pulled off. In 20 out of the 100 games, a flashlight or pallet save was completed. In 3 out of the 100 games, 2 flashlight or pallet saves were completed in the same match. In 2 out of the 100 games, 3 flashlight or pallet saves were completed in the same match, 3 being the highest number of flashlight and pallet saves to occur in a single game, with 75 out of the 100 matches not containing a flashlight or pallet save, meaning on average there was a successful flashlight or pallet save in 25% of games. In 14 out of the 100 matches, a survivor disconnected from the match, and in 4, a killer disconnected from the match. In 5 games, 2 survivors disconnected from the same match. In 77 out of 100 matches, no one disconnected from the game. Out of the 100 games, I considered 15 of them to contain some degree of toxicity, with a fairly even split between the survivor and killer side. I died 11 times on my first hook of the trial, I died 11 times on my second hook of the trial, and 24 times I died on my third hook of the trial. I died 45 out of the 100 games and survived 55 times. And there was only 1 Mori offering brought into a trial during 100 games. There were only 3 Mori animations, 2 due to the killer having Hex Devour Hope, and 1 due to that 1 Mori offering. The average trial lasted 11 minutes and 48 seconds. In 92 out of the 100 games, 1 or more sacrificial cakes were played. In 15 games, 1 or more escape cakes were played. In 9 games, 1 or more bloody party streamers were played. The most common BP category offering was category offerings of yellow rarity, appearing 1 or more times in 18 games. There were a total of 3 Regent offerings throughout the 100 games. In 6 games, an offering was secret. The most common map offerings were the Pied Piper and Mary's Letter, which respectively sent you to Springwood and Midwich. In 2 out of the 100 games, the killer was AFK for the whole match. In 1 out of the 100 games, the killer wanted to farm instead of play. In 1 out of the 100 games, I encountered an insidious bubba. Alright, well, that's gonna do it. I do hope you found this interesting, and let me know if I should do this kind of thing for killers maybe too. Thanks, and goodbye.